Hey there guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Elite FUT Champions Squad. This is the series I'm going to be running every single week just to break down some of the new players I'm bringing to the pay to win account. And we had a pretty strong FUT Champions run. So please do leave a like and we're going to get straight into it today. If you are needing game codes or anything game related, head over to g2a.com, use the code Fuji on that site to get a discount on every single order, Xbox Live, PSN codes, all that good stuff. And let's head into it. So we did make some pretty big changes to our FUT champion side. The defense I completely reworked. In the midfield it is brand new, and then in the attack, player of the month Hazard. So just to quickly go through the side, in goal Courtois. I had already used him before bringing him into this team, 74 games, so I've got a good idea of the way he plays, and for the most part he's consistent, and then out of nowhere he will make one of the worst mistakes you will ever see. But 86k doesn't seem too expensive. Right back position Juan Fran, and I was actually considering doing this on the RTG, but that would restrict the series maybe a little bit too much, and it would force me just to keep building La Liga sides, and I don't really have that intention. So 31 games, 5 goals, no assists, really good card for 100,000 coins. That's if you're prepared to lock in those coins in an untradeable item. Rafael Varane, I had to bring him back, man, and halfway through the FUT Champs run I made some changes, and I'll explain that when we go into the clips. 195,000. I was actually expecting him to be maybe a little bit more just because of how good he performs. He's basically an icon. Don't be fooled by these stats. Actually, his stats are actually stupidly good anyway, but he is amazing. Maldini's still in the team, Robertson left back, De Bruyne, that I had never used before, I picked him up for 350, and I wanted to see how he could play as a right centre mid in game, just up and down the pitch with the high work rates. 16 games, 5 goals, 3 assists, and his in-game stats are very, very nice. It's really that vision, the passing, the curve, that's what I wanted to get use out of. And then in the heart of the midfield, playing my CDM in a 4-1-2-1-2, Patrick Big Boy Vieira. I wasn't really thinking of making the purchase so soon, but I was wanting just someone that I could rely on, man. And 2.5 million, 16 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. Patrick Vieira is back. Will I sell him? Probably not. I'll just gather up a few more coins and start making some more icon purchases. And in the left centre mid position, which is where he played in game, but of course in this team I needed to get chemistry first. 16 games, 3 goals, 6 assists for Luka Modric, high work rates. And when I first brought him in, he wasn't really doing too much, and then towards the end of the run I could appreciate some of the goals that he was scoring, the way he was linking up, and his interceptions. Not a bad card, and when he receives the team of the year, that is someone that I'm going to be bringing in. But we've got Mbappe, Neymar that was featuring in another squad, but it's all about this man. Hazard is my favorite card on the game right now, if you're wondering. 32 games, 29 goals, 11 assists, and that doesn't count for the rage quits, the games that he can't score goals in just because I suck. You know how it is, but that is just a fantastic record for me, and I love him. So in game, I will show you exactly the custom tactics and all that good stuff. So press after possession loss. My width was 3, my depth was 3, my attacking style was on balance, but I had this I was playing about with it, fast build up, balance. I think I do prefer balance. The width is pretty basic. Players inside the box, I lowered that just because I'm in a 4-1-2-1-2, don't want to get caught on the counter, although I still do. And then the way I set out the team was pretty much like, oh no, it was like that. Oh, of course, because I've set the game plan already. So I had Hazard and Mbappe in the attack, Neymar as my cam, Vieira, Modric, and KDB. Oh my. Now that is a stacked team. How did we get on? Let's find out where we finished, and then we'll move into the clips. So we ended up on 26 wins out of the 30, and we could have quite easily got 28. It was a run of 3 games that completely screwed me up, and I came up against a French YouTuber that was actually streaming at the time, and I restricted him to, I think it was 2 or 3 shots, and the only goal of the game was a rebound. He took a long shot outside the box, it pinged off my foot, went top bins, and the amount of shots that I had on target was averaging like 10 every single game in those 3, and I just couldn't find the back of the net. It was so frustrating because I knew myself that I wasn't exactly playing bad, I just couldn't get the goals, and it was irritating. because that completely messed my run up. I was, what was it, 17-1 on this account. I was playing some good FIFA actually, and it was in the 4-1-2-1-2. But 26 wins, I'm really happy with that. That's the highest finish so far on FIFA 19, and we can always build on it next week. So let's go into the clips and I'll explain how the team played and all that good stuff. So if you've been following the pay to win account, you're probably wondering where the hell is George Best, Michael Ballack, the team that we had for the first 15 games. And really I just wanted to switch up and bring in a solid midfield because that squad was lacking just a little bit. Michael Ballack is good and all, and he feels very strong going into the challenge. His interceptions, his positioning, his actual long shot and the way he takes volleys is fine, but the finesse shot, I don't think he has the finesse shot trait, and that's what's putting off the finish. The way he feels on the ball isn't really that clean, and it's clunky, and when you're wanting to hold possession against the better players, I just didn't really feel comfortable with him, so I got rid of that card. George Best, no issues. Like, I actually really enjoyed George Best. It's just that I was using Mbappe as the striker in this team. Hazard, that we've recently gone and unlocked, had him as the striker, so Neymar slotted into the cam position. Otherwise, I've got like two players off chemistry, and it just didn't seem worth it. So I sold George Best. I'll purchase him back at a later date, but that guy was unbelievable. Really enjoyed his finesse shots and just everything about the card. He is playable, and that's what you would expect. So I brought in this midfield. We had De Bruyne, that I was skeptical at first. I didn't think it was going to work just because he is quite similar to, well, a Ballack in the sense of like low agility, low balance, and it felt quite similar. He wasn't amazing, but with what he was providing, like on the edge of the box, pinging those finesse shots, he's not unplayable, but I can see that he wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea just because of the lack of agility and the way he dribbles. But if you're playing it a lot slower and you're holding possession, then with him just pinging the balls around, using that vision, the high passing, I think he's going to be a good card for you. Luka Modric, actually overall I was slightly disappointed at first bringing him in. He wasn't doing enough for the side. I think that maybe with a couple of informs or really that team of the year, that's when I'm going to consider using Luka Modric. But to say that he was bad, I'm not going to say he was bad. He was just average in this team and the way I was playing. I think on the ball he seems okay. His finishing was a little bit inconsistent, but the way he was like breaking up the play at times, getting onto interceptions, I didn't really have much of an issue. And for his price, 100,000 coins for a 91 rated centre mid or as a cam, where would I play him? Probably as a centre mid because he's got good stamina and all. He's actually a quality player for 100,000, but wait until he receives that team of the year, and then that is just going to be out of this world. Cannot wait. And that was the same situation on FIFA 18. I quite liked like non-informed Modric. He was okay, but there was a lot lacking from the card. Then he received this team of the year and everything changed, and he was one of my favorite players. The acceleration was there, the clinical finish, and I hope that's what's going to happen when he receives that team of the year card. But the attack with the 4-1-2-1-2, and I showed you the custom tactics and stuff, I was actually dominating like a fair amount of opponents. It was just that getting the ball in the back of the net consistently was a bit of an issue, and I did explain going on that run of 3 games where I was dominating, like as simple as that. I played good FIFA, I was dominating, and it's just one of those things that the goals didn't come for me. Now if one of those games was like that, I could have accepted it, maybe just being unlucky, but to have 3 games exactly the same, like back to back to back, Jesus, it just wasn't my day. And it just so happened to be that I lost all 3. It was just so annoying because I was really close to the Elite 1 finish. It came down to the last game, and my opponent was very, very good with, I wouldn't say like a terrible team, but it was worse than mine, and he just held out strong defensively, and I didn't really have any issues with that loss. It was just the other ones that really bothered me. But that's what it is, man. That's FIFA for you. But defensively, I actually prefer, like in the other team, we had Alexandro. I prefer Robertson. And I know some of you will be like, oh my god, I can't believe you said that. Alexandro is a beast for me. He's pretty good, but when I bring in Robertson, he just feels a little bit more comfortable on the ball. I don't know if they've lied with the stats that they've given him. Stand tackle, consistent. The pace, blistering. I love Robertson on the game, and I really want him to receive a couple of informs. Come on, get an inform, get a team in a season, do what you got to do, and just bring up those stats even more. But Maldini and Varane together, just a brick wall really. It just comes down to me rushing with my defenders, but bringing in these types like Vieira as my CDM, it allows me to like carry them out of position a little bit more and then go and attempt to manually tackle. I know that it's not really meta to do that. You're best like holding off and waiting for your opponent to make a mistake. But Patrick Vieira, as soon as I brought him into the midfield, even in a 4-1-2-on-2, and you know the way I defend, it's quite open, he just added that security. So if you're even better than me and you're a good defender, Jesus, Patrick Vieira, he's the best. He is literally the best CDM every single FIFA because he has everything to offer. And one of the towering headers that I scored, it was silly. It was actually this one right here. What? How has he even won that? Over the defender, over the goalkeeper? The guy is an absolute beast in the midfield, and I lost count of the amount of times my opponent was just about to go on the counter and he's gotten an interception or a rebound, or let's just say he's near an opponent and you've gone to pass and it starts rebounding. He just seems to be favored to that ball. Like the 50-50s, nah, they ain't 50-50s with Patrick Vieira. They're 90-10s. He's coming away with the ball more often than not. And I think for 2.5 million, it is very, very expensive. But when I've got the coins available on this account, I've got actually 2 million left over, and we've got Ultimate Screen promo coming up. So I might actually bring in some of those cards for the following, or the upcoming weekend league, I should say. And if there are any other players that you want me to test out, please let me know in the comment section. But this team was really, really strong. Favorite players in the side, of course, Player of the Month Hazard. You already know I like him. And yeah, Patrick Vieira. Did the actual team work though in a 4-1-2-on-2? Yes, but I'm not set on De Bruyne and Modric right now. But thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, and I will see you next week, and maybe later, during the week actually, with the rewards on this account. Thank you for watching. Team out. Peace.